Good morning, students. Our today's topic is pond ecosystem. Pond ecosystem is shallow ecosystem where light reaches to the bottom. Sun is the radiant energy which is trapped by the photosynthetic plants and provides food for rest of the organism. All the consumers may be primary consumer, secondary consumer or tertiary consumer. They depend upon the food synthesized by the photosynthesizer. So this is the figure which depicts that in the case of pond ecosystem, we have got the producers in the form of phytoplanktons and the rooted macrophytes. Then we have got the small insects, the larvae, the fishes as consumers, and we have got large number of decomposers. Now coming to the pond ecosystem. So the pond ecosystem works on the pond that are shallow enough for sunlight to pass through it. A pond is self-sufficient and ideal example of ecosystem. In a pond, the intimate relation between the inhabiting, living and non-living component is well understood. The non-living components are various types of organic and inorganic substances such as water, sun rays, carbon dioxide, oxygen, calcium, phosphorus, humic acid, etc. Whereas the living components, they are producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and various types of decomposers. So producers, various types of photosynthetic algae and shallow water plants that they are living in the pond, they are the producers. The floating organisms, they are known as the planktons. Planktons, they are minute microscopic organism. The green aquatic algae and other aquatic plant that live by producing food by the process of photosynthesis, so they are known as producers or transducers. Coming to the primary consumers, they are of various types, maybe the minute insects, larvae of the mosquito and other microscopic animals. The microscopic animals which are floating, they are also known as zooplanktons. Most common consumers, they cannot manufacture their food. They have to depend upon the producers for their energy requirement. Coming to the secondary consumers, secondary consumer includes small fishes, some aquatic insects, prawns, frogs, etc. They depend upon the primary consumer for their food requirement. Coming to the tertiary consumer feed on the secondary consumers. They are the small fishes, prawns and other types of animals that feed upon the secondary consumers. Large fishes like shoal, bowl, stroke and heron like birds, they are also the tertiary or the highest consumers. Coming to the decomposers, in the pond various types of fungi and bacteria, they are present. They are saprophyte and they depend upon the living or the dead consumer. They can live by floating on the water or live at the bottom of the pond. They produce community of pond, use these decomposer element. The decomposers, they play a very important role in liberating the organic and inorganic chemical substrate from the producers or the consumers. The pond ecosystem has a great significance. It provides inhabitation to scarce species and support biodiversity much more than any other freshwater habitat. The ponds provide inhabitation to wetland plants as well as the animal. The pond, it works with combination of three types of food webs at one time. They are not just important for quenching thirst or providing inhabitation, but also they add beauty to the mother nature. In the pond ecosystem, few terms they are used. First term is nestons, such organism that which lives at the junction of air and water. They are known as neustons. The organism such as aquatic striders that live above the junction of air and water, they are known as epinestrons. Whereas the insects such as the diving beetles and backswimmers, on the other hand, they spend most of their time downstream at the junction of water and air, and they collect most of their food from water. These animals, they are known as hyponestrons. Second term is planktons. Planktons, as I've told you, they are microscopic small organisms which are floating. They are drifted away by the water current. They are of two types, phytoplanktons and zooplanktons. Third term is nectons. The nectons, they are free swimming animals. They are found in water bodies except high floating waters. They tend to be relatively large and strong enough to keep up with the water current. Example may be as small as the swimming insects to as large as the blue whale. Coming to the next term is benthos. Benthos, they are those animals that live in the bottom of the pond. They are found in all types of water bodies. The benthos that live above the junction of sediment and water, they are known as benthic epifauna, whereas all the benthos that live in sediments, they are known as infauna, benthic infauna. So these are the few terms which are used for the biotic community. Now in the pond ecosystem, important component is the light. The light, it enters deep into the pond ecosystem and creates the photic region. The rooted vegetation is present, phytoplanktons, they are present. Then we'll see the zooplanktons, they are present, primary carnivorous, they are there, secondary carnivorous, they are seen, and tertiary carnivorous, they are present in the pond ecosystem along with the decomposers formed by fungi or the bacteria. So this is regarding the pond ecosystem. I hope the concept is clear. Thank you.